Hey guys, I have some news for you because things have changed, obviously, as you can see. So there was a couple of people, a handful of people that were watching the movie with us. We got about, I would say, it was 10 minutes or so into that movie, and YouTube booted us. They did not like us using third party content that was not licensed. Excuse me. Our last video worked out a little bit better, and we'll have to find ways to do this in the future if we want to do live streams again. But this one will be a no-go for now. So do yourself a favor and go watch. You can watch the version we were just trying to watch on YouTube. That's where it is. 1957's Curse of the Demon. And let us know what you thought about it. We are going to go home and watch it as well now that we kind of have to. We don't have an option anymore. But in the meantime, I figured since we're here, let's just kind of talk about some movies. We are getting ready for season 2. Hopefully, it will start sooner than later. Or, sorry, season 3. Gosh. See how often we actually do this, right? Hopefully it'll start sooner than later and it doesn't give us or take us 3-4 months to watch another movie. But in that meantime, we're trying to pick out the movies we want to watch. We all have a stack of VHS in the corner of a room that we haven't watched yet. And so we're kind of holding off on them already. Oh, judgy.
Oh.
It's a Monday, so I've had at least 6 rum and cokes already. Come on. But I'm currently not at my own house, and Matt doesn't have his stuff unboxed and ready to take a look at. So we're not sure what we're going to watch for next season just yet, but Ricky does have maybe 1 or 2 that he wants to show you guys, and maybe we'll do a quick little talk about what that one's about and give you a little preview of next season. So Ricky, take it away.
Yeah, I actually have all 4 of mine picked out for season 3. Season 2, I intentionally picked movies that I thought were going to be bad just so we could have fun ripping on them. This season, I actually went for movies that I think have potential to be good. One of those that I'm pretty excited to check out, I have never seen this, but based on the cast and the source material that it's based off of, I think it's going to be pretty solid. This is what year is this? Let me get my tablet here, see what year this movie was made. I know it's 60s, I believe. 1960. This movie actually goes by 2 names. The copy I have is listed as Mania with Donald Pleasance and Peter Cushing, but there is another name it goes by, The Flesh and the Fiends. It's based off of the true story of Burke and Hare, the grave robbers over in Europe, and it's got a actually it says right here, I will get crucified if Europeans are watching this because I do not know how to pronounce it, but Edinburgh is how it's spelled in Scotland in 1828. But yeah, they were grave robbers who would just go out, steal bodies, and sell them to doctors or hospitals or whatever for research. But yeah, based on having Peter Cushing and Donald Pleasance, it's got a lot of potential. The Burke and Hare story is fascinating. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out for sure.
Wasn't there a Simon Pegg movie where he was a grave robber, him and one other guy? Was it? I can't remember what that was about. Besides, I could have swore him and one other dude were grave robbers. So I wonder if it was a similar take on it or not, but I can't remember.
I have no idea, to be honest, on that one. My Simon Pegg knowledge doesn't go super far, so.
That's fair.
Yeah, I know Shaun of the Dead, and that's about it. But I do know he's got a movie coming out soon that's based on another true story of there was a house somewhere in England that was possessed by an entity known as Jeff the Talking Mongoose. Jeff spelled G-E-F. And there's actually a Last Podcast on the Left series dedicated to that story, and it is hilarious. So Simon Pegg is playing the guy that goes out to investigate Jeff the Talking Mongoose. So I'm going to watch that just because I know, listening to the podcast, it's a hilarious story. So I definitely want to see it.
Nice. Well, there you go, Julian. He knew exactly what I was talking about. So yeah, that's the same story, right? Same two guys you were talking about?
Yep, that's him.
Interesting. All right. Well, I did see the Simon Pegg one, and it was funny. I highly doubt this one in 1960 is supposed to be funny, but I am definitely looking forward to watching it because now I have an even more understanding of what the movie's about, even if I kind of don't really remember the Simon Pegg one that much. I have one movie that I know for sure that I want to watch. And I sent a photo of it to you guys, and now I'm going to feel really bad if I get the name wrong, so I'm going to look it up real quick. But it will definitely be the first blaxploitation movie that we have done on this show. And there it is. I still can't get over this. I bought this sealed, not knowing anything about it. Only because the guy on the cover looks like Kane Hodder, but if Kane Hodder was trying to like hide as a black man, and it does not look okay. Like, here's the photo that I sent you guys. We're totally gonna watch The Guy from Harlem. I watched a trailer of it, and by God, is it awful looking. It's I believe it also is on YouTube. So maybe we'll have a live stream of that one. That would be an interesting live stream.
I'm in.
Have you guys seen anything recently that either not necessarily new movies per se, but have you watched anything recently?
Ghostbusters. So yeah, new movie. Other than that, I don't think so. I got a bunch that I've got to watch though. Obviously, like if you look back here, there's a bunch of movies. I keep buying them and I set them down. I'm like, I'll watch them soon. Like I got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes right over, you can see it over there. I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and I'm looking forward to watching it. It's been so long, and I don't know. Right now, I just can't get motivated to do it. Last old movie I watched was probably Double Dragon. It's everything that I still wanted it to be. So
that's a perfect way to do it. To put it.
Yep, it was a good time. But other than that, no. I just got a list of movies that I want to watch.
What did you think of Ghostbusters?
I had fun. I didn't hear any like great stuff going into it, so I had pretty low expectations. But I had probably just as much fun with this movie as I did Afterlife, if not more. So, I mean, I generally don't go into movies with like the most critical mindset. Like I'm paying $12. I want to have fun, regardless of how bad or how good it is. So I enjoyed it. I think it's a good time.
I haven't watched a Ghostbusters movie since Ghostbusters 2. I didn't see the all lady version or either of these two new ones with Paul Rudd and stuff. I haven't seen any of them.
I have seen the all ladies version maybe 50 times because my niece went through a phase where that was the only movie she wanted to watch. So every time I went to my parents' house, it was on TV.
Nice.
What about you, Ricky? Have you watched anything recently?
Not so much recently, but towards the end of last year, I went on a little rampage where I was watching like 5 or 6 movies a night. And we haven't talked about any of those. I went through all of my streaming services and just built lists of movies that either I hadn't seen in a long time or if I hadn't seen them at all. I went through and we rewatched the entire Halloween franchise, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, but some hidden gems that I did find that I really liked a lot. The Undertaker with Joe Spinell. It was pretty good. It's not quite Maniac good, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it's basically Joe Spinell trying to feed off the fame from Maniac, and it didn't live up, but it was. I enjoyed it. He just plays a creepy ass Undertaker. That's it. But it was fun. Slaughterhouse. I really liked Slaughterhouse. That was fun. That was one that I had never seen before. What was another one that I really liked? There was one I didn't like. Man, the
Phantasm 5.
huh?
I said Phantasm 5.
Oh God. The, the first three Phantasms are so much fun, and even the fourth one wasn't that bad. But God, the fifth one, that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. No, it was what's the name of it? The character design was great, and I can tell you what the movie was about, but I can't tell you the name of it. It's like a sunken Nazi ship where all the dead Nazis come back and they're like taking over this little island, and there's like one guy that lives on the island. I can't remember the name of it, but it was okay. I mean, the character design was great, but other than that, it was kind of boring. But yeah, those are the ones that stick out off the top of my head that I had fun watching.
I've caught up with a few horror movies in theaters over the last couple weeks. I saw Immaculate last night on Easter. I thought a good, nun movie on Easter was the way to go, and it was okay. There's some parts that I definitely liked. There's some parts that I could have been whatever with. I think that's right. Yeah.
Shockwaves, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, the cover of that movie has always been super cool to me. The goggles they have on and stuff.
Yep.
That thing's cool.
It's great.
Julian's on it today.
Yeah, he is.
So Immaculate was fine. I would say go see it if you have the time. Other theater movies, Late Night with the Devil, I liked.
I want to see that.
It's cool. It is. I wouldn't quite call it found footage, but it is a TV. You're watching the actual TV program that took place with some behind the scenes between the shows, like live taping shots. And so when the episode of the actual show is being played, it's in your regular standard, VHS format, square box. And then when it's in the behind the scenes, it's black and white and it's full framed. And so it separates them that way. And it's neat. I like how they did that. But I liked that movie a lot. Love Lies Bleeding. I went and saw that movie with Kristen Stewart and the Muscle Mommies. It was pretty solid. I liked that one as well. It took an interesting turn, I would say, towards the end, and I can't really say anything else besides that. Otherwise, it just gives it away. But it was a little interesting. It was a good movie though. I'd go see that. One I watched at home. It's a little bit older. What was it? 2015. Was called The Devil's Candy. And solid movie. Yeah, that was a good movie. I had never seen that before, and Nikki, my girlfriend, likes it, and so she was like, we should watch this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it starts out with this big tubby guy in his house playing guitar, like the heaviest freaking guitar you've ever heard. It was awesome. And then he just kills his family and takes off, and things just get weird from there. It's super neat. It was on Amazon, I think is how we watched it. It was a streaming service of some sort, but yeah, 2015's Devil's Candy is definitely worth watching. I liked that one. What else? I love Letterboxd now because now I can just remember what I watched because otherwise I forget. Exactly. Two Evil Eyes. So Two Evil Eyes is a movie, is a VHS I picked up at a shop that has two eyeballs and a kind of a head, like cat eyes almost, right? You guys ever seen that picture before? It caught my attention because it's a big red box, but it also said from directors George Romero and Dario Argento. And I was like, oh, okay. So I wonder how close this was. I didn't look up the year, but how close it was to Dawn of the Dead when they worked together on that. But I can't say an anthology movie because it's just two stories, but each director tells a short story. And also Adrienne Barbeau was on the back cover. And so I picked it up because of that, obviously. And it was good. Both short stories were pretty all right. They weren't bad. They weren't amazing, but definitely worth watching. I enjoyed that. Sympathy for the Devil with Nicolas Cage. You can skip that one. Definitely skip that one.
Noted.
Yeah, it's one of his newer ones, and it was just not very good. Not very good at all. Like, he's got terrible red dyed hair, and it was a bad movie.
Heck yeah.
I can go on and on, but that's the most recent stuff. Thanksgiving, I finally watched Eli Roth Thanksgiving.
I had fun with that.
Yeah, it was fine. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? It was a holiday slasher movie, and had some pretty gnarly stuff once in a while. Eli Roth likes to go that direction.
Yeah.
It didn't have a crazy storyline. It didn't need one. That's not what it was there for. Sometimes we need those kinds of things, and that's probably why it got greenlit for a second one literally instantly. It was like 2 weeks later they announced it was happening.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had friends that thought that movie looked just absolutely like garbage. And I like you said, it is what it is. I had a lot of fun watching it. The gnarly parts are not so gnarly that you're like, oh, I can't watch the rest of this. It's not like watching what's that movie everyone talks about, Serbian film or whatever. It's just a gory slasher. So I have fun. I'm glad they're making a second one. I hope it's good, or at least on the same par as this. Like, I don't want to see something that has like straight to DVD quality. I want a movie worth $12 or $15 at the movie theater. So we'll see.
I did find two more on my little Letterboxd page that one I loved, one was okay. The one that was okay, Night Beast. The character design was awesome. He looked great. The Beast himself with his little laser gun, it looked great. Story was kind of boring. Coincidentally, I think both of these movies are trauma movies. But the one that I loved, Luther the Geek. If you haven't seen Luther the Geek, it is fantastic. So good. It's a home invasion film. If you're not familiar with what a geek is, back in the carnival sideshow era, a geek was basically a dude that would get into a cage with live chickens, and he would chase them around and bite the heads off. So Luther was a sideshow geek, breaks out of the carnival, goes and breaks into this house, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I loved Luther the Geek. It was great. Night Beast, you can watch it for the design of the beast himself, but other than that, that's really all you're going to get out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I remember from Night Beast too, is just the look was cool, and that was literally it.
I had not heard of either one of those until just now, and seeing the covers, I want them. I want to see them.
Luther the Geek's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. I think I gave that one a 4-star review on Letterboxd. I liked it.
Vinegar Syndrome has Luther the Geek.
It's a cool looking cover too. That slip cover looks awesome because it's got the chrome teeth.
It's sold out though. That one is. The regular one's not.
Yeah, it's got the chrome teeth on the slipcase. It looks really cool. The Vinegar Syndrome also has a release of The Undertaker that looks really cool. That Joe Spinell movie I was talking about.
Okay. I like Vinegar Syndrome. I appreciate companies that put out not so love movies. Like they're making profit on stuff that other companies just don't care about. So
And they do such a great job with the case design, which for physical media collectors like us, that's very important. Like the design of the artwork on the case is very important to us.
they got the draw to them for me is they got me because this is something I would have walked into a movie store as a kid and been like, "Oh, that's I want to watch that." I don't know why I'm like that, but like they did like Jack Frost, a bunch of movies that I just remember as a kid, I'd walk in and see, and it's like I rented that movie over and over and over again. I'd take it back and I just rent it again for like 3 more days. And I don't know why I watched it that much, but that's the kind of crap that they're releasing, and I'm appreciative of it.
I agree. Vinegar Syndrome's done some really, yeah, there you go.
It's a great movie. I mean, it's dumb, but it's great.
I think one of the coolest things that Vinegar Syndrome has done, at least recently, but well, I don't know how recently. Well, 2021, that's kind of recent. They put out a movie called New York Ninja, and it's just a ninja movie about a guy in New York, little Asian guy in New York being a ninja, helping out cops and stuff, and it's pretty, great. It's for what it is. But then when I found out the story behind it, it made it so much more interesting to me. Well, apparently in 1984, they shot the entire movie with no sound and then abandoned the movie. It never got put out. There was no sound attached to it ever, and it just sat in a warehouse somewhere. Vinegar Syndrome found it. This movie was not edited, it was just all the shots. So, Vinegar Syndrome, without a script, took all that film and cut together a movie called New York Ninja and wrote an entire script, hired people, voice actors to do ADR for all of the voices. They tried to contact the original director and he's off the grid and doesn't want to be talked to or seen or anything like that. So they put this movie out there and it's fantastic. It's so hilarious at times. He rides around on skates for no apparent reason in the middle of New York in his ninja outfit. There's tons of big names that they use, like Linnea Quigley does voice acting in it, all kinds of other random people. Yeah, so Vinegar Syndrome literally wrote a script, edited this movie together, did the ADR, and I technically directed a movie by putting it all together without any actual, they took what was shot not knowing where it was in the movie and just made a movie. It's so awesome to me. I have a Blu-ray copy of it. They put out a VHS copy that I also bought, and it's just, the idea is so cool to me. So I give Vinegar Syndrome mad props for pulling that kind of thing off. That's crazy.
That's like, two people just stumbled upon that in a warehouse and was probably like, it'd be an awesome idea if we finish this. And it probably sound ridiculous to everyone, but Vinegar Syndrome. I love stuff like that. Just the idea of it, where it's like, oh yeah, we're finishing this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, they apparently bought like a warehouse that had movies in it, and now they own all the rights to said movies. And this was just in there in canisters, and they were like, "What is this?" And made a movie out of it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully more things like that come around because that's fantastic.
We should film a movie and then send it to him with no sound. Have him finish this.
Shoot everything out of order and just be like, make something out of this movie, please.
Yeah.
Figure it out, bud.
Yeah. That's great.
Well, this wasn't planned whatsoever, so we have no idea what we are here to talk about or anything else like that because YouTube was mad at us today. So, is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about? Have you bought anything recently that you want to talk about that you either have or haven't watched? Or I know, Matt, you're just talking about some of the movies you bought, including Killer Tomatoes. I went on a spree the other day on Amazon just for fun. I typed in Blu-ray and then clicked on the little like filter on the side
Mm-hmm.
and took it to $5 to $10 and typed in horror and then just hit search, and all kinds of shit came up, and I spent like $200. Every time I'm like, oh, I don't own The Craft for some reason on Blu-ray. I should buy that. It's $8. Why not? You know, and went through a whole thing, and then ended up buying something that was $25, but it was all 6 what's it called? Alien movies in one Blu-ray set, which I looked and somehow don't own a single one of the Alien movies on Blu-ray. I probably only need to own 1 and 2, but still, for all 6 of them for $25, I was like, sure, why not? What about you, Ricky?
I haven't been buying any movies lately. I have been on, since the beginning of February, I've been on a reading rampage. I think since February 5th, I've read like 19 or 20 books. Right now, I'm in the process. I decided to take on a huge task, which I'm kind of regretting at the moment because this book that I'm reading right now is a lot. But I decided to read all of Stephen King's novels in order of publication date. So right now, I am on the 4th, technically the 5th, because his 3rd book has been taken out of publication all around. He does not want it sold anymore. The only way you can get it is like if you stumble upon it at a secondhand store, or you can buy it on eBay for over $200, which I'm not going to do. But the story of that book, it was called Rage. It was written under his pseudonym, Richard Bachman. But it revolves around the school shooting. And he was like, I don't want that out there anymore. Let's get rid of it. After all the school shootings became more prominent, he was like, take it out. Do not republish that book ever again. So I'm on the stand right now. I am 750 pages in. I still have 450 pages to go.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. So I've been buying all of his books in order. So I have the next one ready to go when I finish one. I just pick up like 2 every week because he's got like 80 novels, not including his short stories. It's a lot.
I went and grabbed a stack of stuff that I've recently picked up. So about half of these movies I've actually seen, but they're new to me in my collection. Some of them are double buys because I like steelbooks. First thing here, I've had this a while, but I got to meet Adrienne Barbeau. She was awesome. You know, her line wasn't huge, but it still took a little bit to get through. She's a very personable lady. So she was taking time to talk to everyone, real slow to sign. And I enjoyed that. You know, I got to ask her questions and she talked about the movie and just stuff that went on during the process of filming it. Like, I didn't know how low budget it was. Like, she said one day the makeup trailer just wasn't even there. So it was kind of cool to hear that from someone who experienced it on set. A movie I didn't need because I do have it. Steelbook, H2O Steelbook.
It's a pretty cool cover. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, it popped up on Amazon. And I pre-ordered it, and it's fine. I really want it. I probably got that movie 2 or 3 times, but like it's a cool steelbook, like you said. I just I needed it. Blood and Honey. I'm yet to watch this one, so I know the second one just came out in theaters, but
they're already talking about a third for that thing. Isn't that crazy?
I know. The back of this looks sick. So, this was $5.
I didn't hate. Before you move on with Blood and Honey, I didn't hate that movie. A lot of people didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but there was so much potential. I feel like it had, but didn't quite live up to, which is kind of a bummer. So maybe the second one, the second one will deliver a little bit better than the first one did.
I just want to say that it probably feels like it took me 15 minutes to get through that line because Julian waited like 3 hours for John Bernthal.
Okay.
I
thought for her, and I was like,
no. He got to the front of the line. It was like 5th person back, and John's like, I gotta go. I'll be back. I have a one of a panel. He left for an hour. It's like, oh my gosh. So I mean, we might have been 15 minutes. It seemed like a while though, but I would say probably closer to 30 for us. Anyways, $5 at Walmart. Finding these in the $5 bin. It looks like the movies that Best Buy is no longer carrying are getting funneled into Walmart. So if you miss those steelbooks, you might be able to pick them up for $5 at Walmart. That's what that is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people posting $5 steelbooks at Walmart, and they were buying stacks and stacks. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some good ones. I've seen this Terrifier, but I bought it along with All Hallows Eve. It's been a while since I've watched this. I kind of want to have a movie night with friends that aren't necessarily horror fans, so I can put them through that torment for all those movies. Because I take them to like a pretty tame movie, and I'll get like looks and comments like, "What the hell have you brought us to?" I really want to just ruin their night and show them something like this because I know they're not going to like it, and I'm going to love the experience of them not liking it. Does that include my discount? Maybe. I don't know if I got a discount on a $5 movie or not. If it did, it was probably like $5.10 after tax or something stupid.
You get 30 cents off.
Yeah. Double Dragon. That was another one. MVD's putting out some good stuff. So they've got me. Another $5 movie. 3 from Hell, the Steelbook. I don't remember what the back of this looks like. Nothing crazy. But when you pull the slipcover off it. So
that is neat.
Yeah. This next one is a banger of a movie. And I started it the other night and got caught up, and I didn't get to finish it. So I watched maybe 10, 15 minutes, but I remember this when I was a kid. Some of you probably don't. Rad. It's got Lori Loughlin in it. This is a fun movie. Like it's just cheesiness at its finest, but it's still a good time. It's the 80s. You gotta love it.
And I have the vinyl soundtrack for Rad, and listen to it quite often. It actually has the same song that is used at the beginning of Turbo Kid when he's riding his BMX bike. It's the exact same song.
Really?
And that was the biggest reason where I wanted it. And then I realized how many other bangers are on that soundtrack. So I was not mad about buying that.
That's all. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's another good bike movie, Turbo Kid. That might be my favorite movie of all time. And I accidentally watched that. Like not accidentally, but I had no idea what I was clicking play on. I was home one day, had nothing to do. I hit play, and I bet I've watched that movie 50 times. It's awesome. Last one I got, though, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. So this is like, come on, 80s cheese at its best. But I remember this from when I was a kid, and that kind of stuff speaks to me. I need to find this on VHS because I know it's out there, and I think that would be awesome to have. But yeah, that's just a stack of the stuff I've gotten recently. A lot of good stuff there, though, at least to me.
I think I have 2 copies of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes on VHS, and if I do actually have 2 of them, I'll give you the other one.
Oh, sick. That'd be awesome.
I don't know why I have 2 copies, but I'm pretty sure I do.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. I bought a action movie called Zero Boys. It has Kelly Maroney in it, and it's from the 80s. And I have never seen it, but I saw it on the In Search for Darkness. What's the word? Thank you. Documentary. It was the second one. And Kelly Maroney from Shopping Mall and Night of the Comet. She's fantastic, and so I'm excited to check that one out. It looks really neat. The cover of it is super cool. Let me pull that up really quick. And I bought The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer recently. I haven't seen that movie. Honestly, I don't remember if I've seen it at all. I feel like I have, but I might not have. So I'm excited to watch that. But this is the cover of Zero Boys. It's a pretty sweet looking cover.
Yeah, it's kind of got that alien cover or aliens with
Hmm.
Ripley holding the gun. That's kind of cool.
So yeah, that should be a good one. And then another one from the same documentary that I have not seen was The Unseen. It looked like a cool movie. They talked about it for a while, so I got to see some clips of it and things like that. It seems to be about a mentally handicapped person that's held in a basement, and then he's kind of portrayed like a monster, sort of. So that might be a little problematic these days to do that kind of thing. But I'm definitely interested in seeing the movie. I did get this guy too. I know I showed you guys Cryptids. It's a new movie. Joe Bob Briggs is in this movie, and they released it on VHS. So of course I bought that version of it. But it's an anthology movie where Joe Bob Briggs is a radio host and he's telling stories, and it comes into these different short little anthology horror sections. So that should be cool. Don't know anything else about it. That copy I bought is signed by Joe Bob Briggs and every other director, and there's like 8 signatures on there, so there must be a lot of shorts in that movie. Maybe like a ABC of Death kind of situation. So we'll see how that one goes. But besides that, I think that's all I've bought in the last few weeks. Besides all those Blu-rays from Amazon. Those I bought I bought Beau is Afraid and Talk to Me and some of the newer ones. I bought Mother, which I've never seen before. I know it's weird, but I've never seen that one before with Jennifer Lawrence. The Craft, all 6 Alien movies. And there was a couple more in there. I know that for sure, but I can't remember what. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to do that. Click on the $5 to $10. I feel like that could be a rabbit hole for me.
Yeah, if you're bored, it was like a Friday at work, and I'm sitting at the reception desk because someone called out of work. So I'm sitting there not knowing what to do, and so I sat on Amazon and ended up like $200 poorer. And it was fun though. You'd be surprised how many movies just randomly go on sale, or like Hereditary's $5 on Blu-ray. It's crazy. There's a lot of good stuff for cheap.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do that. Is there anything in like the 80s? Or is it all relatively new?
Yeah, no, there was older stuff. There was here, I'll just pull up my Amazon cart and see exactly what I bought. Because I know there was some older stuff that I bought. Oh, I bought The Frighteners.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Last Night in Soho is not an older movie, but I bought that. I bought the 4K edition of Evil Dead 2.
Oh, nice.
That looks like it, actually. I thought there was more. Oh, I bought the Darkman trilogy.
Oh, heck yeah. First Darkman's great. Good Liam Neeson movie.
Yes. Evil Tunes I bought, which is a terrible 80s booby movie. I think that's it.
Dang.
I did recently buy the season 1 and 2 of Holliston by Adam Green. It was a TV show with Odorous Urungus in it as well. And so I've watched the whole thing, but I wanted to see it again. Plus, I was going to meet Joe Lynch, who also was in the show. And so I took my 2 Blu-rays to see Joe Lynch and talk about Dave Brockie with him. That was awesome. So
it's on Shudder, right?
Yeah, that's where I saw it the first time. If it's still there, I watched it during COVID, so I don't know if it's still there or not.
I think I started it. It's kind of like a buddy show, like in an apartment.
Yeah. 2 guys that work at a stupid TV station kind of thing, showing bad movies, and Odorous from Guar is one of the guy's imaginary friends that hangs out in his bedroom, and It's very sitcom-y, like laugh track kind of thing. And there's random stars that show up a lot. Like Tony Todd comes in and Kane Hodder comes in, and D Snyder works at the radio or the TV station as the boss. And he's always like talking about how he's got to go to band practice with his band, and he's all dressed up like D Snyder. And so it's pretty awesome. He's like an aging rocker wannabe. It's good. It's a good show.
Sick.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else to bring up unless you do. If not, then we can wrap this up. And thank you guys for hanging out and watching us ramble about literally nothing because you two hated us today. We are going to go watch Curse of the Demon, and we're going to come back and do a fun little quick episode on that like we do normally. So go home and watch it yourself, and don't give YouTube any money to watch it. Don't do that for sure.
Oh.
And then we'll come talk about it in a couple weeks. And in the meantime, we will pick more movies to watch for season 3. And thanks again, guys. We appreciate you, and we love you too. And we hope to see everybody again very soon.
Yes. Bye.
See you later.